Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Story Office. Miracles are always strange, and most times they defy science and logic. Attempting to use logic to explain the workings of God will most times lead to what we saw between Dr. Paul Enenche, senior pastor of Dunamis International Gospel Center, and Mrs. Anyim Vera, who was untruthfully accused of sharing fake testimony during a Sunday service. Meanwhile, that does not mean the church should not put up serious measures to fight fake testimony and fake miracles. What do you think about what happened and in the bid for Paul Enenche? Because I believe strongly Paul Enenche was actually trying to stop fake miracles. Because if you see his reaction, and even if you see his letter of apology, he still doubled down on this, attempting not to allow untruthfulness to fly in the house of God.
I think what Paul Enenche did, telling Vera Anyim that she was lying on, do we call it podium or altar?
Altar of God, the house of God, yeah.
Exactly, that she was lying before the house of God. It was an action that was so harsh, so severe.
Yeah, well, we understand it was so harsh, but the argument is that there is
then again, I'm coming.
Problem that he's trying to
I'm
solve.
coming. Then again, some time back, there was a miracle that occurred in his church.
Yes.
Where a woman who had a child with a damaged kidney, and there was need for an urgent operation. Now, the woman said, to cut the long story short, she went to hospital, came back and forth, did tests, they confirmed the kidney was damaged. Now, but she said she kept on believing in prayers and in the words of the man of God, Pastor Paul Enenche. Now, what happened? She said they went back to the hospital. They discovered that everything was as good as new. Now, it did not end there. The child developed a third kidney. Now, when she came to testify, she came with all the tests and everything. She presented it before people, including before Dunamis Church and the entire congregation. Now, many people saw that testimony as fake. Like, what do you mean you have 3 kidneys? Like, what kind of...
Having 3 kidneys even is uncommon, but it's not something that has not happened before.
That's the
Even
thing.
scientifically,
That's the thing. You know, ignorance can make you hate certain things. Ignorance can make you call certain things propaganda and the rest.
And I think it was one of the reasons why he reacted the way he reacted, because the church got a lot of backlash.
Exactly. Many people tagged it a fake miracle, that it was staged.
Yes.
Now I'm looking at Pastor Paul Enenche's stage in life, stage as a minister. Now, I was confused because I'm asking myself, what is Pastor Enenche still looking for? Is
like
it
a motivation?
Is it wealth?
Yes.
So why would he stage a miracle? But
it's most unlikely.
But the thing there is this: others do not see it this way.
Yes,
I know another thing. Majority of people that would fight these ministers, they are not Christians. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yes.
Some of them along the line, maybe they were going to church and they were angry with God. Maybe God did not give them the exact miracle they were actually looking for. They failed to understand.
They were victims of fake prophecy or fake miracle.
Now, that's another thing. So some of them pulled out from church. Now, anything you do to them and target a miracle becomes fake to them. Now, looking at what played out, Vera Anyim, in her case, someone that spent 10 years.
10 years. That is a miracle on its own.
A course on a normal that is meant to just be 5 years.
Yes.
Now she spent 10 years. And according to her testimony, she happens to be the only person, the first graduate in her family. So to her, she saw that as a miracle.
Not actually saw it like it's a miracle.
Exactly.
At her age, she's advanced.
So if you are seeing it from a different angle, that is staged, is fake, I feel you need to have your brains rechecked.
Whether that thing is, whether you like it or not, people will still argue with you. Whether is even if you hear somebody of let me say stomach ache, people will say, "Okay, go and take paracetamol."
No, that's not your business. You see, the only thing there is you have to do the right thing. For instance, even Jesus, there was a time he took a clay and molded it, and then went to someone that had no eyes. It was just the socket, and then inserted the clay. The man began to see. People still did not believe it,
and they had to even go to the parents.
That's the thing.
To confirm.
So as your duty as a pastor is just, if you
To
have the
make sure
gift
that
of God,
to make sure
do
that
your
are speaking,
best.
yes, you are perpetuating the truth, because that is one thing he was saying in that place, and I think people should actually keep from what he's doing, because there are a lot of things that happen in that miracle. It's not the guest problem. The people should have investigated. If
Sure.
they were doubting what he's saying, they would
Before
demand,
castigating her.
yes, they would demand for, okay, does it mean that these people
Verification.
don't- yeah, does it mean that people don't even verify miracle?
That's the thing.
If somebody comes to like that 3 kidney, Enenche is a medical professional, demand for the scans.
Now, this is another thing. This is another area I feel that men of God should
Do
equally.
better, yes.
Yes. When someone gives a miracle that you consider spurious, now, instead of embarrassing the person, go back and
Go and
check.
check.
Or you can do it this way. Before a person comes to the stage or the altar to give a
Person's
miracle,
interviewed.
let a mini interview be carried out, probably just a minute, to ascertain the
I
veracity
think
of the.
most churches do it.
Okay.
Most churches do it, but what they
Okay.
don't do most times is like, even that sounds controversial, maybe taking that second step of trying to verify it
That's where
on
the
their
mistake is.
on their own. Because I know that in most Pentecostal churches, maybe this one is just a little diversion. If you want to get married now, they have hospitals, they send you for tests, pregnancy tests. I know some churches will not. If you come back, if it comes out positive, they're not going to wed 2 of you.
No.
That one, and even now they've advanced further to like genotype. They want to know that 2 of you are not trying to play any love thing in the church, and so if you have the right genotype, it's no more time they ask you what's your this thing, and then you go, are you pregnant? No,
Right.
no, you don't do it like that now.
Now, in such scenario, if your minister does something that is improper, your minister is not the Alpha and Omega. You have to understand that your minister is just like a human like you. So there should be that room for mistakes. And then your minister should be humble enough to accept correction.
Yeah, even if you don't want to correct him, you can keep quiet.
Exactly.
Not
Not
coming
coming
to
online and then you are writing things that are off.
There are things you cannot do.
Some of the
Right,
comments I
fine.
saw online, some persons ended up showing their level of ignorance.
Yes, and it's just so painful that people do those kind of things. And what I would like to say is, as Christians, we should know that things of faith or belief, they don't yield to logic. I used to
Sure.
say this thing.
Sure.
So everybody will not believe in this miracle. I've heard Adeboye talk about people delivering without womb.
Womb.
So how can somebody imagine that Adeboye will come and be lying for what one? Adeboye has no reason or motivation to lie to you. Why?
And yet you will see naysayers claiming that he lied.
Yes, that he lied, he did this one. Now, Ben Carson is a scientist, one of the best neurosurgeons of his time. And I've also watched interview where he performed a surgery. It's not supposed to be like that. I think he said remove part of someone's brain. Normally, medically, that person is not supposed to drive again. Some cognitive tasks were taken away from that. He said he came back after like 2 or 3 days. His small boy nearly even called his name. Like he came and the guy was shaking. And they interviewed him. The press wanted him to explain what is going on. Say it's miraculous.
That's a miracle.
This is a miracle. These are not beyond. These are
Miracles
beyond
are
science.
things you don't have explanation for.
Yes.
But you know this thing happened, and
You
the
can
only
feel it,
person
you understand it.
the only person you can point to is God, the man
Yes.
behind the scene.
That did everything. So we must not explain everything. If we're looking for like logical explanation to this thing, everything will not make sense to us.
Now to Vera Anyim, thank you so much for having an open heart. You know, the moment Pastor Paul Enenche reached out to her, she accepted the apology. That's a true mark of a Christian. Some persons would have pulled out from the church.
Or start posting rubbish on.
Honestly, Vera, we are proud of you. The entire world is proud of you. You just showed many people the real Christian and whom a Christian is and how a Christian should behave. This is the Christ-like life Christ Jesus came to preach and to teach the world. Thank you so much.